Yeah, and so now we can start. So you all can see my screen, right? Great. So let's start. So first of all, welcome all of you for being here. As you know already, we got almost 300 applicants over the last couple of weeks. I've met most of you through the one-on-one interviews that I've performed. I had almost 200 interviews, just for you to have an idea, okay, over the last almost 1 month. It was like very, very, very exciting to meet so many people coming from so many different places. I think we have something like 20 countries being represented here, which is already something. And that truly shows how Web3 is so global since day one, and how communities is such a like an urgent topic for us to start to talk about and have here a conversation. Okay, so these are just a few slides that I've prepared to give you some context on Web3 communities, Vinci itself, and what is going to happen over the next couple of weeks, okay? So nothing huge. Today is not a lesson. Today is just a kickstart, okay, a kickoff. So let's start here. So the first things then regarding our agenda, I will talk about Welcome to Vinci. What is it? Web3 community building, also to share with you a few numbers, a few things like some trends that are going on, and also how you can benefit from Vinci, okay? So regarding the Welcome Vinci, so just for you to have a better idea, I've mentioned this already. We are a small team right now, okay, a very small team of 4 guys. Both me and John, we are both from Portugal, living currently in Lisbon, and Michael and Abhinav, they are also our co-founders. They are also engineers, but they live currently in the Bay Area in Silicon Valley, okay? And so these are the faces behind Vinci. We have more people working with us and helping us out, both on content creation, community management, and other stuff. But these are, let's say, the 4 guys full-time dedicated to building Vinci, okay? And where you can find us. So this is very simple. We all know the drill already. We have a Telegram chat group. I'll be honest, unfortunately, I think it is not the best thing out there. We have a Twitter account where we currently create content every single week. We are going to start creating content once again. We have a few Twitter spaces coming on, and we are going to create a small community group on Twitter where we want to bring everyone together, okay? We are naturally on Discord, so most of you have already onboarded to our Discord. That's where most of our stuff happens. That's the major channel where we communicate. And also we have a Notion document where we share all the resources that we prepare, all the sessions, and much more that we are going to start sharing, okay? So everything here, I think you may have already the link for Twitter and to Discord. The Notion document I will share with you on the emails that I'll send over the next couple of days, and then I will share on our Discord, okay? So don't worry, you will have access to everything. Now, regarding Web3 community building, let's dig in. So these are just a few trends for you to have an idea on the growth of Web3 communities and the Web3 community landscape per se, okay? So if we look back at the last year, at the end of this year, I promise I will update these numbers, but only in the last year, we got already $64 billion being transacted, okay, being traded through tokens, most of the times launched by DAOs, okay? And that accounts for almost 5,000 registered DAOs, and acknowledging the fact that beneath every DAO there is a community, then there are almost 5,000 communities out there. Naturally, not every community is an on-chain community, but that's another topic, okay? So we are here facing a huge growth in terms of people getting organized around this concept called Web3, okay? We are now facing a future where more people are coming. We have already at least 4 million people have at least one NFT, meaning that at least 4 million people are already part of one single NFT community, okay? And most of these DAOs, they already manage $8 billion, which is something huge. Just for you to have a clear idea, we are talking here about a huge growth in terms of percentages of what does it mean, the growth and the birth of new DAOs, new communities, tokenized communities and stuff like that, okay? And we are here just looking at the last year. So this is what the industry has grown so far, okay? And as you can see, in this case, this is a Deutsche Bank projection, a forecast. And as you can see, this is the forecasted or the projection for the growth of Web3, okay? This is the adoption rate of cryptocurrency and the internet, where they make a challenge between the number of users that the internet has or got over the years, how much time it took to the internet to get that many users, and how is crypto performing so far. And as you can see, Web3 and blockchain crypto itself is the first technology since the birth of the internet that is growing as much as the internet, okay? So we are here facing a tremendous shift in how we coordinate online, where Web3 communities will play a huge role, okay? And the question is really, what the hell is this Web3 community? What is going on? What is this new way of us human beings to come up in a new way of organizing ourselves, okay? So the first question is really, okay, where does Web3 fit in this new way of organizing people, right? So as we know already, Web1 was about reading. So it was mostly about people reading information out of the internet. Regarding the Web2, we know already that it was about engaging and interacting. So that's the mobile era, that's the Uber, the Airbnb, all the apps that we currently use. But now with Web3, what is going on is that we have all this infrastructure and this massive impact in millions of lives, while at the same time we can deliver or pass some of the value to the final user, meaning that people, they do not only read and use, but they also own part of the infrastructure, the app, the protocol, the company, the project they are being involved in. Okay, and this is a tremendous shift because we are no longer in the sidelines of a project being built in front of us. Instead, we can act as contributors, and that's where Web3 communities come in, playing a huge role in how to organize or reorganize the way on how we coordinate online, okay? And so as you can see here, these are just mere examples of how some of the businesses are being translated into Web3, where you already can have access into buying into these Web3 projects, okay? Something that, for example, nowadays, if you are a Medium contributor or a Spotify artist, you can't really own the company unless they are listed in the stock exchange. Nowadays, just by owning an ENS address or an unstoppable domain or having mirrors token, you can be part of their journey, their success also, okay? And so, as you can see, what this led into a new way of developing products, developing companies, building companies online, which is what we nowadays call the community-led approach, okay? And so, in this case, in Web2, it was easy for us to identify companies and businesses being built with this community-led approach, which most of the time or sometimes it's very confusing with product-led, which are two different frameworks to develop a product. And then we started to see a few communities becoming businesses. But what is going on in Web3 is that we have the mix of these two frameworks, okay? So we have community-led businesses and communities as businesses, because now community members, they own the businesses, okay? And so in this case, we have here Rabbit Hole, Bankless, Forefront, Seed Club. All of these are companies working on top of communities where their community members are fans, they are investors, they are their customers, they are contributors, but at the same time, they are all owners of the success of the company, okay? And so this is the tremendous shift that we are currently facing regarding Web3 communities, okay? So the question is really, why now, right? Okay, Bernie, crypto isn't something new. Crypto has been around for years, decades, at least one decade. Communities also, they have been here for years, for centuries. Human beings have always organized themselves around communities, all of that. Like, why is it different right now? What is going on, right? This is the big question that everybody wants to get an answer. And so in at least I see the crypto landscape and the Web3 landscape in these two pivotal moments. Okay, so on one side we have what we know as the Bitcoin, the birth of Bitcoin, a couple of years after the birth of Ethereum. And as I usually tell people, like anytime I have to explain to someone who knows nothing about crypto, if Bitcoin is like the gold kind of value, Ethereum is like the first PC, let's say, something like that, where we can build applications on top of it, whatever. So in these two moments, we have been introduced to tokens, but at the same time, these two moments, they were mostly about building infrastructure, right? And so what we wanted was, okay, if we want to have one single coin for the online world, we need an infrastructure on top of which we can build businesses and apps that will use these coins, right? And so during years, it was about building infrastructure, and we are still there, but with less exaggeration or investment, let's say. And then suddenly two moments happened to the crypto industry that changed it forever. The first one was DeFi. And so decentralized finance was the first use case that brought in millions of people providing financial services to others. But then it was NFTs. And while we have a few collections being launched in 2017, 18, 19, and 20, it was 2021, the year that NFTs got to the mainstream. And suddenly we are now talking about the ability to build businesses on top of these two huge industries, okay? So just for you to have an idea, I remember like in January when I was still working at Deloitte, I was helping them to come up with their the first ever proposal for a client, their first ever crypto and DeFi proposal, okay? And back then, I remember studying the DeFi market landscape, and DeFi had already $250 billion locked in value, okay? So this is the number behind DeFi. And NFTs, well, NFTs have already perhaps, what, $70 billion that have been traded over the last year only. So if not even more than that. And so we are talking here about two huge industries that have born and raised over the last couple of years, and they are business centric and not necessarily infrastructure centric. And so this is where the future of Web3 communities play in, okay? So as at least as we, and this is our perspective here at Vinci, we are either right or wrong, this is our perspective. So we see that tokenized communities, so communities that have a token where community members are both investors and owners or contributors, like DAOs, NFT communities, social tokens, and etc., they are just starting, okay? And while many people say that communities are the future of marketing, let me be honest, like I don't see communities being just the future of marketing. I see communities being the future of sales, the future of work, the future of funding and investment, the future of human resources and recruitment, the future of outsourcing work, so many things. So everything that is value creation, I see communities eating that pipeline. I see communities going into there, okay? But the current problem is that there is a huge lack both of people and tools, okay? So the overall experience regarding Web3 communities in 2021 and 2022 is still very poor, okay? Like regarding onboardings, we have to jump from tool to tool. Regarding analytics, there is almost nothing out there. Regarding contributors management and stuff like that, there is almost no tools out there. We have DWork, Charmverse, and many others, but they are just starting, okay? So we still have a huge lack of both people and tools when compared with what Web2 already offers, okay? And so this is our vision once again, is that the future of Web3 relies on the success of these tokenized communities, okay? Because in the, like, by being able to bring people together under a core set of values and a certain mission, and empowering with these people with a token and providing them a safe place for them to contribute and get a financial upside with the future success of the project, we are now talking about being able to build network effects around the community building aspect. And so I truly believe that the future of Web3 relies on the success of how we are going to build and manage these tokenized communities successfully, okay? And so this is where we at Vinci, we have our mission, okay? And so this is where we see that Web3 community professionals, both Web3 community founders and builders, but also community managers, operators, moderators, play the most important role in Web3, okay? While they are not building products, while they are not selling tickets, while they are not making marketing, they are doing all of that together and a lot of other stuff, okay? They have the important mission to onboard more people to their communities, meaning onboarding more people to Web3. They have to keep them engaged in daily activities and make them return and come back to the community once again. And they have to use their way of managing people the right way to take community members from like passive viewers into active contributors, okay? And they have to do it like during a long term and build something sustainable here. And this is the most important skill, I would say, right now in Web3. And so if Web3 community professionals are key in the future of Web3, and this is what we believe, then that means that this is our mission, okay? We are on a mission here at Vinci, and this is where you, by being part of Vinci, are also joining our mission, okay? And our mission is really to onboard the next generation of Web3 community professionals, okay? And why? Because we know that by providing them with a safe place for them to meet like-minded people, share insights, experiences, create content alongside with us, learn and educate each other, we will be able to grow that flywheel that will help us all to have more people in Web3 and make Web3 the vision that we all have for it, okay? And so the question really is why? And the why is really because we believe that the future of Web3 depends on that, okay? Like the future of Web3, the actual realization of Web3 depends on having people that come together online, share a sense of belonging, work together, and are able to coordinate each other along different goals, okay? And so the last topic here to cover today is really about Vinci's benefits, okay? And most of these benefits I've mentioned to you already, like have access to our product, the product that we at Vinci are currently building, have access to future courses and stuff like that. But let's now take a look at more technical stuff regarding the third batch. And so at Vinci, we offer, at least at the current moment and regarding our learning community, three big things. On one side, we have training, okay, with on-chain certification, the soulbound tokens. This is something that I've shared already. So by the end of the third batch, by the end of the 3 weeks, all of you will get an NFT. That NFT will be a soulbound token as a certificate for you to go through for having gone through our fundamentals in Web3 community building, okay? So these current course that we are currently offering. At the same time, what we are really trying to build here is a safe place for people to come, to meet like-minded people, to make questions. Like there are no dumb questions. We are talking about Web3, we are talking about communities. And so we want to provide and keep building that safe place, okay? And that safe place, for it to exist and become sustainable, it has to be both collaborative for all of us, but at the same time collaborative in a way that we all can feel like that we can contribute to something, okay? And so we want to make our safe place the safer as possible so people can feel safe to contribute to achieve Vinci's mission, okay? And so how you will benefit from being part of Vinci and how you can benefit the most, okay? So on one side, we have the weekly sessions. So as you know already, every Tuesday, we have guest speaker sessions. On Wednesdays, we have office hours. And on Thursdays, during the next 3 weeks, we will have the lectures, okay? The second thing is a product that we are currently building, which is called Learning Platform. And our learning platform is something that we are going to ship over the next couple of weeks or months, okay? And so basically, it will help us to keep scaling our educational efforts to bring more people into Web3 communities and learn about the future of Web3 communities, okay? And at the same time, it's the network, okay? And the network means that over the next couple of days, I will send you all an email providing you with an accountability group, meaning that you will be part of a group of people and also an accountability partner, meaning that you will have access to one person that we are going to identify for you to build that relationship. And why? Because we believe that online is already a very lonely place to be. And so having like-minded people surrounding us is the best way for us to keep learning, keep growing by building relationships, okay? And so what is next? What's next regarding our third batch, okay? So just to wrap up, and so regarding the weekly schedule, this is the weekly schedule for the next 3 weeks, meaning that the next 3 weeks, every Tuesday at 5 p.m. UTC on Zoom, we are going to have a guest speaker session, okay? Meaning that we are going to select a speaker to come talk to us and share their learnings, okay? On Wednesdays at 5 p.m. UTC, but on Discord, we have the office hours. As I've mentioned before, the office hours are really just a moment for people to join our Discord and share and discuss and make questions about Web3 communities like strategies and tactics and products and tools and metrics, whatever, all we want, okay? And on Thursdays, we have what we call the lectures. And the lectures, they are going to happen at 5 p.m. UTC once again, but on Zoom, meaning that every Thursday, I will bring you a presentation, something just like this one. I will deliver the presentation for 20 to 25 minutes, and then we will break out the room into smaller groups. Each group, each one of you will be put into a group, and every group will have to go through the remaining class to solve the exercise and pitch to the class by the end of the class their solution, okay? So this is what you can count with for the next couple of days. Regarding the course syllabus, and so just for you to also have an idea on what you are going to go through in terms of main topics, okay? So next week, we are going to deep dive into Web3 communities, okay? We are going to understand multiple types of communities, what types of communities exist out there right now. And also we are going to take a look at the 7 steps or the stages of community building. Okay, so if you want to start building your own community in Web3, what is a good framework that you can use to start building your own community? The week after, the second week, we are going to take a look at the growth and engagement regarding starting to build your own community, okay? And so in this case here, the goal is really for you to understand how you can build a growth flywheel. So what the hell is that? And also how to actively engage your community members for them to come back to your community and start to become contributors and contribute to your overall success, okay? And then we are going to focus on building for the long term, meaning that we have to take a look at systems and incentives, okay? And why these two? Because these two, having the right systems and the right incentives, is the difference between having a community that lives for the next 2 to 3 or 10 years or something that breaks down in a couple of weeks, okay? And so we will take a look at a few examples of other communities, how they are building their own systems, what type of systems, and also their own incentives, okay? So questions. This is it for today. As you can see, like the goal here today is just like a quick kickoff of the third batch. And so, yeah, let me know if you have any questions.
One question I have is, so first of all, thank you for the presentation. That was like all really clear and really, excited to start. The question I have is about a dashboard. You were talking about a dashboard. I seen also like a couple tweets and a couple messages in Discord talking about the dashboard that you're building. What you could expand a little more on like what would that be needed for and like why you're building that?
Yeah, of course. And by the way, Ricardo, just to share with all of you, starting next week, we are going to start having every month, we are going to do a community call, meaning that we want to start providing, like to share with all of you, our roadmap, what we are building, next features and stuff like that, okay? And so you will be able, we will send you all an invite next week for our 2 hours first session. In case you want to be there, it will be called community call. And the goal is really for us, the team, to make like a status point with all of you and hear you all. And so regarding the cockpit is the dashboard, the product that we are currently developing and building. You can take a quick look at Vinci.so. So if you go to www.vinci.so, you will see that we have changed our landing page to just have a get early access, simple page regarding the cockpit. And so let me share more about the cockpit because it is perhaps one of the most exciting products out there regarding communities. And so the cockpit is a product that allows you as a community builder or a community manager to build your own onboarding process and deploy the onboarding on your personal website, on your custom domain. Okay, so let me give you an example. Imagine here at Vinci. So we are currently making our last onboarding on an old-fashioned, okay? And the old-fashioned is like people see or hear about Vinci for the first time on Twitter. They see our link, they navigate, they click on the link and go to our landing page. They got to our landing page, they have to do whatever. And if they want to join our community, they have to find our Discord, they have to join our Discord. On our Discord, we have multiple rooms and like, in all of that, we are just creating more friction to community members to onboard a community, like things are not on brand. You are not able to get like data and information regarding your community members. There are a lot of problems, okay, with the current onboarding, which is completely broken. And so with our current cockpit, what you can do is like, you can create your own personalized onboarding, meaning that you can have multiple screens with our drag and drop tool. You can create conditions, multiple venues, and then you can deploy it to your website, meaning that in the near future, for you to join Vinci, instead of having to go to Twitter and come to Discord and have multiple rooms and then a Notion and then whatever, what you will find is just like a step-by-step process with 2 or 3 or 4 different screens where you will have everything laid down, okay, like as simple as that in terms of the overall process, like a delightful onboarding process, okay? And so this is the product that we have been building, is this onboarding tool where we allow you to plug like to connect, like if you use Discord or Slack or Microsoft Teams, if you use Notion or Typeform, if you want to connect with their table and collect people's data and stuff like that, we already allow you to integrate with all of that and create the onboarding in a seamless way, instead of having people jumping from one room to another room and Twitter and stuff like that and articles and whatever, So yeah, that's the cockpit, that's the dashboard, that's the stuff that we have been building. And we are going to make a walkthrough next week.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, thank you. That was it for the cockpit. So thank you for the explanation.
Yeah, you're welcome. So anyone has any other questions? We still have a few more minutes. The session doesn't have to take 1 hour. We can end the session before that, and that's the goal. So let me know if you have any other questions regarding, I don't know, the course syllabus, next week's, whatever.
No, seems pretty clear.
Great. It seems that I've done my job well.
Yeah.
Bernie, I have a question. Any homeworks will be on it?
We are avoiding to give people homework. Instead, we want people to work with each other on the classes with the groups. So let's keep giving that a try, because on our last batch that worked very well. So instead of having people working together alone at home, we want them to work here. And so no, we don't have homeworks. We have exercise that we provide in each lecture.
Okay, thank you. Clear.
Okay, you're welcome, Valdes, and thank you.
Well, maybe on a side note, is this like the experience kind of like customizable? Like just as an example, I am aware of the problems that I'm having in the community that I'm currently managing. So where to be, like a way to explore the problems that I'm having with the rest of the class and trying to like find maybe solutions actually, through the program.
Yeah, that's exactly part of the reason why we do the on-class exercises, is for people to bring their own problems and then to try to solve them. So that's one of the greatest things here. Like, just to give you an example, on our last batch, so we have our framework on how to start building your own community. Our framework is like 7 steps. Every step has its own name and a few examples and stuff like that. And one of the things were like activation. So how can you activate your community members? And so I remember that we had one previous student who brought the problems of their own community, and everybody on the group, they all jumped into a Miro board and they were trying to solve their own problem, and so that's a very handy way for you to create value to each other and to keep building relationships. Does it make sense, Ricardo?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, great.
Vinci library, because this is the third part already, so I'm quite sure you guys must have some interesting case study going on. So I just want to go through all those case studies so that I can
Jean, are you talking to us?
Yep.
Sorry, I can't hear you. You are talking very low. Sorry.
Okay. Maybe it's because of the internet. Oh, okay. So
yeah, you were saying?
I just wonder where can I find those? Yep. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Okay, so I just want to know where can I find the library, the Vinci library, because this is the third part already. So I just want to go through some interesting case study from the previous batch so that I can grasp the idea of the whole course.
You'll find everything on our Notion document, and the Notion document will be sent to everyone by email between today and tomorrow. Okay.
Okay.
So
great.
on our Notion document, you will have there all the resources from our previous batch. Okay. And then you will also have all the recorded sessions and also the materials from our current batch. Okay. And all the future materials will always be added there. So in the future, you will keep having more material being put there.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. Okay, so I think that's it for today. Let me know if I'm wrong. Perhaps you have any other question. If not, I think that's it for today. Thank you very much for being here once again. And yeah, please just take a look at your email, okay? You'll keep getting emails from us and also on our Discord, okay? So the goal here is to, our goal is not to send you a ton of emails, at least the necessary ones. So yeah, okay. And feel always free to either talk to me on Discord or send me an email. I'll always try to reply, okay?
Thank you
See
very
you.
much.
Awesome. Thanks,
Have a
Johnny.
great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you very
See
much,
you.
everyone.
Good day,
Thank
Bernard.
you.
See you.
Bye. Bye,
See you
guys.
soon.